Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to our live stream. This is the second one of these we've done, and we made a couple of improvements. Most noticeably, the audio should be better this time.
Yes, we have a real microphone.
Yeah, we have a real. It's and I'll show it to you. It's a blue snowball. I don't want to pull the cords too much. I might destroy things in the process. But let us know if you're out there. Just say hi. Any questions you might have.
Michael A. says hello.
Hi, Michael. We knew you'd be here. You were at the first one, if I remember correctly. Michael is one of our most devoted fans here on the channel. So we love you, Michael. All right, so very briefly, the first part of this review is going to be spoiler-free. We're not going to give away any major plot points, just in case that if you haven't seen the movie, the surprise of everything will still be intact. You'll be able to enjoy it. But there'll be a point later on that we will just take the gloves off and just discuss everything. But we'll warn you, if you're here and you want to keep watching, please stay. But before we get into the meat and potatoes, we'll give you plenty of warning to leave if you don't want to be spoiled. Okay? All right. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here in just a second, we're going to wait a minute or two to see if anyone else comes by.
Michael says, before the review starts, I'm going to throw it out there that this was not my favorite Star Wars, but it was still good, LOL.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like most movies, it's an either or. A lot of reactions I've seen that a lot of people that did not like The Last Jedi like this one, and I figured there'd be a vice versa on that as well. People that liked The Last Jedi that hated this one. So, what we're going to play for you in a couple minutes is as we literally stepped out of the theater last night, we recorded a quick initial, just kind of general reaction to it, again, without spoilers, as to how we felt about the movie, and we saved it especially for this live broadcast. And as always, if anyone happens to be watching this on a playback, this will serve as our review, and also this will be our video for this week. This is our event of the week, so to speak.
Michael loved Last Jedi.
Oh. Yeah, well, the art is still back here on the wall, but we also, and I'm not sure if I'm going to put it up or not, we also got a freebie from Regal, something similar to that for Solo, and also for Deadpool as well. And here, a side complaint, they send all these things, they give you these free VIP offers with Fandango when you buy the tickets in advance, and but they're all these weird sizes. We had to get this frame especially for this when we got this Last Jedi poster. And it's such a weird size, like 11 by 19.
Yeah.
And tell them that story, Greg.
Well, and I paid for one frame from Walmart, and I had to order it on their website and have it shipped to the store. And they sent a box of like 10 of them.
It wasn't 10, it was like 6.
Well, still.
A whole carton of them.
A whole carton of them, and they only charged me for one. I tried to do the right thing and take it back and say, hey, I only bought one, and you gave me 6. It's like, and they just said, well, I guess you get 6. So.
And you wonder why people like to make fun of Walmart. Have you ever seen People of Walmart? I rest my case.
It's their loss, and I tried to do the right thing, so.
This guy is such an honest individual. Oh, anyway, okay, so I think we've waited long enough. Here now is our initial reaction to how we felt about this last night.
Okay, we have just exited the theater.
Okay, no spoilers at this point. What did you think? That was one of the most awesome experiences that I've had in a long time. If people don't like this movie, I'm very surprised.
You know. Go watch this movie. Go watch it. Go watch it. It's just a fun experience. All right. This ends this trip back in time.
Well, if I can turn the mic back on, there we go. I kept missing the button to turn the mic back on. Okay, so Michael, sorry, we disagree with you. I mean, it's okay if you don't like it. I mean, I don't care.
Well, he said he liked it. He just said it wasn't his favorite.
Oh, my bad. I have a very short memory. Sorry, Michael. And that's a fact that Greg loves to remind me of. That's not what I said, right? I can't. I think I've lost count in 13 and a half years of how many times you've said, that's not what I said. Okay, but anyway, let's talk about the movie. This movie was a very interesting experience. I went in with a very low expectation because it's in all these modern Star Wars movies, The Force Awakens and forward, I've tried to set my bar low because I thought, okay, George Lucas isn't involved. I don't know how popular this is going to be with the public. But if there's one thing that impressed me in this film, it's Alden Ehrenreich.
Mm-hmm.
He, oh my God, he just nailed all the Han Solo mannerisms so much that it's like, oh my God, the baton has been passed from Harrison Ford to Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah.
It was just so impressive.
Did you notice the makeup people even put Harrison Ford's scar on his chin?
That was a very good touch. A very nice touch, you know. And was that was that Harrison Ford? Was that a real scar on his?
Yeah, he had some kind of accident at some point in his life.
Right. Not during the filming of American Graffiti. No. Just the casting was real well in this movie. Let's talk about Donald Glover.
Yeah.
As Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
My goodness. And we have a lot to talk about with Lando Calrissian that happened in the film and is possibly going to happen in the future of the character in this era of the story.
Yeah. It all in all, it was just, everything was just very believable in terms of what we already know about the characters.
Mm-hmm. And we ended up seeing exactly the parts of the story that I wanted to see personally that was already mentioned in other movies.
Yes.
In the classic trilogy, of course. You'll remember a scene in The Empire Strikes Back when they first get to Cloud City. Lando tries to say, "It's my ship, your ship. You lost her to me fair and square." And I was so hoping to see how that went down, and we did.
Yeah. and we got to see the Kessel Run.
The Kessel Run. That's always been a big debate among Star Wars fans, is that a parsec is not a measure of time.
Yeah, it's a measure of distance.
It's a measure of distance.
But Saul Landaverde says, "I really like Solo, and I'm not even a big Star Wars fan, to be honest." Yeah,
it's a good movie that if you've never met the characters before, you can definitely come in and watch this movie and enjoy yourself. It's very, very, very good. And for anyone who's new here, we're not giving spoilers in this part of the live stream. We're still waiting a few minutes, and we'll give you fair warning if you haven't seen the movie to leave before we get to the spoilers.
Yes.
And I say the spoilers.
And I will say this isn't a spoiler because it doesn't reveal anything specific.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie, I mean, you do get to see the parts of the backstory that were referenced in the other movies, and so you kind of know what to expect going in, but they still managed to throw in some surprises.
Yes, very much so. I saw lots of things, and there's one great part of the plot. And, well, I'm not going to discuss that because that is a spoiler.
Yeah, save that for the spoiler section.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I have to mentally stop myself before before it happens. I think
Michael has another question. Non-review question: is your Q&A still coming?
Yes, it is. So we are getting ready. Starting this coming Friday, June 1st, we're going on vacation. We're going to New York City, and we're going to spend the 1st through the 10th up there. We're going to fly back on the 10th. But we have a whole bunch of vlogging we're going to do. We have all sorts of things happening. Some we cannot talk about yet, because we're not sure how it's going to play out exactly. Lots of exciting things. And
but when are we doing the Q&A?
When are we doing the Q&A? We're going to do that towards the end of June. We were going to try and do it prior to going on vacation, but we've decided that we're going to take like a week or two off of posting, just to give us a little break on preparing videos and whatnot, because we've been doing this every week since last August. I mean, we got to have a little bit of a break,
But it is still coming.
But it is still coming. We are still doing it, and it'll give us a little more time to get some questions in too. So I think everyone will be fine with that and understand. Yes. Just to make sure everyone can hear us okay, right? Just let us know if you can hear us okay. I'm hoping the audio quality has turned out a lot better using a Blue Snowball than those crappy microphones they have on laptops.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
The
audio meter here in our
seems
software
to
seems to be doing good. Yes, we're getting good levels and all of that. How many people do we have viewing right now?
I don't know if I can tell that.
Well, scroll up.
Where would it say that? Well, peak concurrent 6.
Okay, well that means 6 at once.
But I don't know
concurrent means at the same time.
I don't know how many people are watching right now. Michael says we're loud and clear.
Oh, thank you. Glad to know that something I try works for a change. It's so hard when you do these videos. Even when we're doing just a vlog, you're worried that will anyone be able to hear us? You don't know the amount of times that I've vlogged something with my cell phone, and I go back and listen to it immediately because the audio is what I'm worried about the most. Because why have the video if you can't hear what we're saying? Anyway, okay, what else? Okay, let's talk about some of the other characters. Woody Harrelson as Beckett. Boy, Woody Harrelson in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seemed like a match made in heaven to me.
I thought it was good.
Yes, it was really good. Woody Harrelson's never been in Star Trek, has he? No, he has not. No.
Planet of the Apes he was in that.
Oh yeah, War for Planet of the Apes. He was very good in that movie too. It seems like he dies in all his movies. At least those two I've watched that we have watched recently.
Now careful for spoilers.
Yeah.
We're not in the spoiler section yet.
Well, that's not a bit. Well, sorry. Well, I think. Oh well, I'm sorry that. Okay, let's go down. Let's just go through the cast list here to see if there's anyone I recognized. I did. Oh, of course, Warwick Davis is in the movie as well. I mean, that's not a spoiler.
No.
It's nice to see him in a new role in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Of course, you remember he played an Ewok in Return of the Jedi, did he not? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No one else I really... Of course, Clint Howard was... did everyone see Clint Howard's role in the movie? That does not surprise me a bit.
His brother always gets him in his movies.
Yep, definitely. What's the
Saul says Woody is practically an underrated. He was good in Solo. Excited to see him in Venom.
Oh, yes, that's right. He is in Venom coming out, the Tom Hardy movie. I think I want to see that one.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because we've kind of been lax on the MCU movies.
Yeah.
We have to go. We have 10 years worth of movies to watch.
Yeah. Well, that's technically not in the MCU, but
kinda, sorta.
Yeah.
It's kind of its own separate thing, right?
It's sort of. I'm not sure exactly how it's related.
We're throwing Spider-Man 3 out, I assume, right?
I don't know.
People, correct me if I'm wrong, Venom was in one of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, right? Yes. I'm not going to go and look it up and whatever. Let's see. Who is Chewbacca in this movie? Junius Suotamo. He's taken over the role from Peter Mayhew. I think Peter Mayhew's retired from the role now. Well, he's getting up there in years.
Yeah.
So they obviously passed on to someone of similar stature, you know.
I thought he did good.
Yes, he did. I mean,
we get to see how Chewie and Han first met.
Yes, that's right. But remember the Wookiees were in the prequels. You remember Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah. Was
Kashyyyk?
Was Chewbacca one of the Wookiees that we saw?
Yes, on that planet. Yeah, he was in all those scenes on Kashyyyk.
Chris Simmerly says, "What up? Told you that you would like it. Ha ha ha."
Yes, and Chris, we did have popcorn. I forgot to get a picture or whatnot, but we got a large popcorn and split it.
Yeah.
For everyone else, Chris is one of our great friends from college, and he asked on a little impromptu Instagram live we did last night, are you going to have popcorn? Yes.
Saul says, yeah, Venom was in Spider-Man 3, pretty decent movie, but Tobey played an a-hole in Spider-Man 3.
Ooh, a diss of Tobey Maguire. I had to shut off Spider-Man 3. I mean, I could not with that movie. The first one was great. The second one was... But you didn't come here for a Spider-Man review. You came here for a Star Wars review.
Yeah. So.
Well, how did you think, Greg? How did you think Ron Howard did with the Star Wars franchise?
I thought it was good. I mean, it would be interesting to see what they did before Ron Howard took it over, because there was all that drama with all the changing directors.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought he did a good job.
Yes, he did. It's interesting that Ron Howard is one of the first. Well, no, I'm not. What am I trying to say? He's an Oscar caliber director.
Yeah. And
I was very, very curious to see what he would do with this, being the great filmmaker that he is, with the great pedigree and resume that he has. What are you saying there, Chris? Sweet. Yeah. Sweet. But he did great. I mean, the film couldn't have been in better hands. You know, if anyone can craft an exciting story and knows how to tell the story, the characters properly, it's Ron Howard. Yeah.
Of course, we also have another droid with an interesting personality in this movie.
Oh yeah, what was the name of that droid? L337. Yeah. An interesting droid with an interesting relationship with Lando.
Mm-hmm.
I dare say I think that they ripped a page out of Futurama's playbook on that one. What's the term? Robosexuals. Unless I missed the mark entirely, that's exactly what they were implying between Lando and L337.
I think so.
Yes. It's an interesting universe out there in a galaxy far, far away a long time ago.
Yeah, Chris says he can't believe that the movie isn't doing well.
That's a very good point that I did want to bring up. And I'm going to, dealing with all the latest information here, I still have it pulled up in my Chrome browser.
I mean, there was a line to get in our showing, but it wasn't as long as we thought it was going to be, and it wasn't as early as we thought it was going to be.
Yes, if you go back on our Instagram, you can see a couple pictures, and I have them time-stamped in the description of, I believe it was like 20 to 7, there was nobody there, and this is a 7:45 show in a hoppin' downtown theater in Knoxville, and 20 minutes later or so, people started to line up, but it wasn't a deep line, not like it was for episode 8. Not like it at all. Okay, the latest information I'm reading from BoxOfficeMojo.com is they're saying that it's delivering a soft debut, estimated $83.3 million. It is the weekend's #1 film. Disney is currently anticipating $101 million. They were projecting 130 to 150 on it, and that has fallen way short of that.
So what is the problem? Are people tired of big movies? Are they tired of Star Wars?
Well, they're saying in this article, and I agree with it, is that it's the proximity of this out this weekend, Deadpool 2 last weekend, and Avengers has been out for a few weeks.
Are people fatigued from Avengers?
Possibly. It's just a lot of blockbusters coming out one right after the other.
And Saul says there wasn't anybody there, any people when he went to watch it either.
Yeah, it's. I do think that. Consider this, all since The Force Awakens, and I said this to Josh Willis as well. We were chatting on Twitter DM that since The Force Awakens, all the releases have been in December, and this is the first one that's come out in May when all the classic Star Wars films, the classic trilogy and the prequel trilogy, all came out in May, and everything in this section has been December releases, and now we're back in May. And we just had The Last Jedi last December.
So The Last Jedi was only a few months ago.
Yeah. So I should think they should have held this till the next holiday season. Or maybe put it out May of next year. You know?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's just a bad time to release it, you know?
Yeah, maybe. And you wonder if all those people that well, for whatever reason didn't like The Last Jedi are still upset about it.
Yeah, and Chris, I know you didn't like the movie, but we'll agree to disagree on that. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of spoilery stuff. Okay, so if at this point, if you have not seen the movie, just turn the stream off now, because we're now going to get into the spoilery things. I think we're about 20 minutes into this live stream. I think that's long enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? Okay, you've been warned. Oh my God. Let's get to the real thing at the end. Darth Maul, everyone. Darth frickin' Maul.
Yeah.
Jesus. I cannot tell you. We've had probably 200 people in our audience, and half of them audibly gasped when that hood came off. Mm-hmm. I was like, "What?" And I said it out loud, I will admit, but I got myself under control quickly. Okay, I've seen comments coming in here. Let's have them, Greg.
Well, Chris, he's upset, but that didn't stop him from seeing Solo. Saul said from what he hears, there's a boycott from Solo from certain Star Wars fans. And Christian says, and Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. Golly. Which I had to go back and read. I've not seen the animated shows, so I got a brief explanation of the backstory, what happened in the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels with the Darth Maul storyline. Because I was wondering, okay, how did he survive? Then I'm like, okay, he got split on the X-axis and not the Y-axis. So he theoretically could have lived, you know. And he got the whole robotic lower half and whatnot. And he tried to take over, overthrow the Emperor and whatever. And that's pretty much all I needed to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that came from so far out of left field. It was just so surprising. And I'm sad that the movie's not doing so well financially because...
well, they did seem to leave the door open for a direct sequel.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
And Alden Ehrenreich is signed on for potentially a couple more movies.
You said 3, didn't you?
Well, I think it's rumored that he's signed... They don't know how many specifically, but it's rumored that he's signed on for at least 3 total.
At least 3 total, counting Solo.
Yeah.
So 2 more.
Yeah.
Okay. And could they get Ron Howard to direct again? I don't know. That's beside the point. Well, that's not beside the point. I mean, I like to have him direct again. He did great with this one, you know.
as long as they think this one does well enough to warrant a sequel.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right.
Of course, they could always go feature a movie on some other character that'll continue this storyline. Who knows?
Yeah, there's potential. I mean, we don't know what happened to what's his girlfriend's name? Crap.
Yeah. Of course, rumor has it the next
Kira.
Yeah. Of course, rumor has it the next spin-off movie will focus on Boba Fett.
Yes, there's that to come, and I think someone said on Twitter that there will be disintegrations in that film. No disintegrations. All right.
So if I wanted to watch all the movies in order start to finish, would Solo be first? No, it was
definitely
still,
not.
If it chronologically, it would still be Episode 1.
Yeah, you'd watch 1, 2, and 3. Then I think Solo would come.
Then then Solo. And
well, wait a minute. Is Solo set during or after the Clone Wars?
No, it's
the Regal people had this whole Star Wars timeline on one of their posts. What was the terminology they were using? BBY and ABY, before the Battle of Yavin or after the Battle of Yavin, which is when the first Death Star blew up in Star Wars. 1977 Star Wars.
This was after 3, but I think before...
I'm going to go find that. Where
we were really seeing... Because another spoiler here, we saw what I think was the very beginning of the rebellion.
Yeah, that is right. Where is that? Okay, I'm finding it, folks, because I want to get the best.
Saul just wants an Obi-Wan Kenobi or Boba Fett movie. Obi-Wan is the other one that's rumored to be in the planning stages, a movie about Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see that as well, because there's this whole thing in between when he goes into exile on Tatooine and A New Hope, which I don't like calling it that. It's a revisionist title. Even in the early '80s, there was a revisionist title.
And, while obviously nothing is
okay, here it is. It says here that it takes place between 5 and 11 years before the Battle of Yavin, but before Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which is literally right before the 1977 film.
Yeah, it ends just minutes before that movie starts.
No, it says here exact placement currently unknown.
Well,
on their graphic, but it's after episodes 1, 2, and 3 and the Clone Wars, the animated series.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So
there you go. Chronology, timeline. Star Wars chronology is not as complicated as Star Trek chronology is. I mean, there's a whole book I still have. The first version of, the first printing of, it's constantly been revised. From the early 90s, of an attempt to tell the chronology of everything that's happened in all the Star Trek series up to that point. And this book came out in like 93. This was before Voyager, before Enterprise, before Discovery, before the Kelvin Universe movies.
Before a lot of complications.
Before a lot of complications, and you're ending up with 2 different timelines. The Prime timeline and the Kelvin timeline. So there's a big debate there on will there be a 4th movie and possibly a 5th movie on that series. But that's not the point of this live stream. Okay, now let's talk about Lando Calrissian, and we're getting into spoilery material here. L337, there was definitely a relationship there.
Yeah,
it was just wow.
L3 thought that Lando was in love with her.
Yeah, and she don't want it or she. I don't know what to call the robot. The droid
it seemed to have a female personality.
Yeah, definitely implied. Well, let's not go attaching labels, Greg. No. Of all people, we should not be, But
at any rate, there was definitely a relationship there.
Yes, but the most interesting thing is that when they took her navigational database and plugged it into the Millennium Falcon, I instantly knew, okay, this is where the Millennium Falcon's computer gets its crabbiness from.
Really?
As you remember The Empire Strikes Back, Chewie, take him into the back and plug him into the hyperdrive. You get all those weird noises, and all that. And it said that, okay, this is where this came from.
That's why the Falcon has kind of a personality.
Yep. And I love that. Okay, what's our comments here?
Let's see. Well, Saul says, "What are you ranking for the Star Wars movie from best to worst?"
Ooh.
Chris is upset that there's not an L3 action figure.
There's not? That's very surprising, and I did not know that. Wow. I'm kind of disappointed in that there's not an L3 action figure. That'd be one that if I collected action figures, which I don't, I would want that if I were collecting it. You know. Okay, so ranking them. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, Empire Strikes Back is definitely the best. There is no debate for me on that.
Yeah.
It is the greatest one, and the original Star Wars is right below that. Those are the top two. And we talked about this recently.
Yeah.
I asked you this question recently. What do you remember what you said? Because I don't remember what you said. I think we agreed.
Those two we agreed on.
Yes. But what would you put in third? I think we put episode 3 third.
Did we, or did we put one of the newer ones there?
No, you didn't put one of the newer ones there.
I wouldn't put episode 3 that high.
You wouldn't?
No. I mean, it was the best of the prequels, but I wouldn't put it quite that high.
2 is definitely the worst. Right below 1.
Yeah.
There's a story I love to tell about Attack of the Clones. That,
Well, Purple or Blue TV says hi.
Oh, hi, Purple or Blue. Sorry we fell off your radar screen. I've been meaning to go back and watch some of your guys' videos.
And Michael says,
POB fam in the house.
And Michael says, "Am I the only one who called Han's love interest in the movie ditching him at the end? LOL, that was my one complaint. I could sort of anticipate that was going to happen."
Oh, yeah. You could see that coming a mile away once we went 3 years later in the movie.
Well, you had to know that she didn't figure in his life later on, obviously. So we knew there had to have been some sort of separation there.
Yes, very much so. But I could see that plot point coming. It was telegraphed from a mile away. There was all that. It was foreshadowed. It's just. It could not have gone any other way. Anyway, so episode 2, the day it came out, May of 2002, I was well rested, and I was sitting in my seat in a movie theater in Wise, Virginia, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And we're getting to the whole talking middle of the movie when Obi-Wan is on the planet where they're making the clones. And I fell asleep in my seat. It was so boring. I fell asleep. And I woke back up, and I didn't miss anything major in the movie or anything, but
that's another sign of how bad it was.
It was a sign of how talking and bad those prequels were. My goodness gracious. Anyway, but 3's right above 2 and 1. 3 was the best of the prequels.
Yeah. I kind of like. I honestly, I think I would. I might put Rogue One higher than 7 and 8.
You enjoyed Rogue One more?
A little bit, yeah.
It was very exciting to see that story. I've loved seeing these side movies, to kind of flesh out the backstory. But I would put Solo above Rogue One.
Yeah.
I thought it was the better of the two movies in just these one-shot films.
Yeah.
Which we don't know if it's going to be necessarily one shot or not. It may lead to another film.
We don't know yet.
Stay tuned.
But there were definitely unresolved plot points at the end, and they weren't unsatisfactorily unresolved. It's just kind of whetting your appetite for more story.
Let me ask the question of the group here: when you heard the name Crimson Red, did you immediately think it was going to be who it ended up being? I mean, what do you guys think? Because after it got revealed, I was like, in the back of my mind after it was like, of course, it makes sense. But I totally had no idea it was going to be him.
Yeah. Purple or Blue sent us some laughing, crying emojis. And Saul says, the only thing memorable from an Attack of the Clones was that Anakin Skywalker didn't like sand.
That is right. I forgot about that. I'll quote Clerks 2 right now. Shitty acting ruining saga. But then again, Lord of the Rings, three movies of walking around.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just shame that Clerks 3 isn't being made.
But no, but back to being chronological, I would put Solo between Episode 3 and Rogue One because we saw what seemed to be the very beginnings of the rebellion against the Empire.
Yes,
and which Han apparently had a hand in starting, which we just found that out.
I wish, if I had one wish in the Star Wars universe, it's that we could go back and do a better prequel story to tell it better. I mean, I keep saying to Greg that I know there are fan edits out there of trying to take everything from the prequels and compress it down into one movie. I know that who was it? Patton Oswalt did one for his friend. No, he did not. No. Who was that? Someone did.
Topher Grace.
Topher Grace, yeah, he did. He did it, but he only showed it to his friends. I would like to see that interpretation of it. And I know there are a couple others out there. Illegal, mind you.
Chris says he thought of Crimson Guards, but that was it.
Explain that for me, please. My brain just like shut off. Hey Google, what are the Crimson Guards?
According to Wikipedia, the Crimson Guard is an elite organization within the fictional G.I. Joe universe.
Okay, there we are. When in doubt, do a Hey Google, right? But overall, this was a very fun movie. This is just so great. I cannot be more satisfied, and it's just so surprising that it's not doing as well. You know,
yeah,
for the reasons we talked about.
It deserves to do better.
Yes.
And of course there was all the drama surrounding its production, and I still would like to see what was shot before Ron Howard took over.
There has to be like a view from above guide that will be made.
Because I think they threw out everything from before Ron Howard and just reshot everything.
Did they?
That's or at least most of it.
That's really impossible. It's really hard to do because remember, people schooled in film history will remember that Richard Donner shot most of Superman 2 before he got thrown off of that film. They were shooting 1 and 2 concurrently, and they stopped producing 2 to finish 1, and then after 1 came out, they threw him off the movie. And what's his face? I can't remember his name. Who finished that? Shoot. Richard Lester finished it. Yeah.
But anyway, I know there were a lot of reshoots when Ron Howard took over, so I don't know.
Maybe he sat down, looked at the dailies, and didn't like what he saw.
Just Chris says, ha ha ha, you asked what I thought of when I heard Crimson Dawn. I said Crimson Guard. Sorry, bad joke.
Oh, Crimson Dawn. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Saul says Kevin Smith started out great with Clerks, but his last 2 movies, Husk and Yoga Hosers, pieces of crap.
Yeah. On my old YouTube channel, I did a review of Tusk, And if I remember correctly, I was like, "What in the hell is this movie?"
I didn't see it.
No, I did. I did. You didn't see it.
I'm kind of glad.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't see it because that was 2 of the most confusing hours that I had been through in a long time, and I had seen most of Kevin Smith's body to work up to that point. You know, there are a couple things I hadn't seen, but I keep saying, do I want to sit down and watch Yoga Hosers? I mean, it's just sitting there in our Netflix list, and I don't know if I ever want to watch it. I mean, I am curious to see what he does with the Mallrats sequel.
Is that still coming?
I thought it was going to be a TV series. Of course, Clerks 3 didn't happen. It got pushed back. We loved Clerks 2.
Yeah.
Well...
So what do you think? Should people go see Solo?
Yes, definitely. I think we both highly recommend it. And even if you're not a Star Wars fan, it's still a good film to come into the franchise on. And you don't have to really know anything that's happened before it.
You really don't.
Well, except who Darth Maul is.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe the last 10 minutes of episode 1 is required viewing.
I think that's all that anybody needs to see of that movie.
Oh, about those fan edits, most of them throw most of episode 1 out. Because most of episode 1 was terrible. I remember in 1999 on my first viewing of episode 1, when you get to the pod racing scene, Ben-Hur has always been one of my favorite movies. And when you get to the pod racing, I'm like, they're ripping off Ben-Hur directly. This is so derivative and so awful. The movie was over for me at that point, but I kept watching anyway, you know, because I'm like, I spent $5 to watch this movie. I'm not going to waste it at this point.
Chris says yoga isn't too bad. Hasn't watched Tusk.
Yeah, Tusk was one of those. Kevin Smith. It's so weird that movie was born from an idea given on a podcast, which that's how Tusk came to being.
And Saul says he feels like Solo and Justice League were full of production trouble, but at least Solo is better than Justice League.
Now, I haven't seen Justice League. I will admit.
I haven't seen much of the new DC franchise.
Yes, which of course, I love the jokes that Deadpool made in Deadpool 2 regarding all the different universes.
Yeah.
So, wait a minute, are you from the DC universe? This Deadpool's just great. And is everyone excited for an X-Force movie? That's just derivative. People probably said that when the comics came out. Because there were X-Force comics, if I remember correctly, yeah. Alright, well, we've been going for 45 minutes. It hasn't felt like 45 minutes.
No? Well, we've had a lot to talk about.
Yes, I think we've... is there anything... Oh, yes! There's one more thing. There is the rumors about Lando's character in what's going to happen in future endeavors. Because there is talk that there might be a Lando Calrissian movie, too.
Oh, well, that could easily pick up right where this one left off.
Yeah, but there's also talk about Lando's sexuality as well. That he is pansexual. And I could see that. I really could. And Donald Glover has made comments to that effect that he's totally on board with that, you know.
We didn't really get too much into Lando's character in Empire or Jedi.
Yeah, he was kind of just a heroic character that you didn't know was a heroic character at first, at least in The Empire Strikes Back.
Well, since he betrayed them to...
Well, he had to. The Empire just showed up.
Yeah.
But he made it good.
Yeah.
So, no worries there.
But in those first moments, you didn't know that.
That's true. But you knew from the get-go, I mean... If you had seen Empire Strikes Back part of this film, you know he's a good guy, you know.
Yeah. But It'll be interesting to see.
With a card up his sleeve.
It'll be interesting to see what, if anything, they do with Donald Glover's interpretation going forward.
I'd love to see how he ends up with the overseeing, or ends up with Cloud City on Bespin. Comments, please.
I happen to notice better not let Deadpool lead the team again. LOL, spoiler, but they died in horrible ways.
Oh my God! Oh God!
Which who knows what actually got undid during those
the post-credit scenes.
Yeah, when Deadpool was going back in time.
Yeah. Did anyone? I assume everyone here has seen Deadpool 2 already, and hopefully you stayed through to the end of the end credits, as you should. If you watched our review, you know how I complained about that.
Yeah, you especially don't leave in a Marvel movie early.
Oh yes, of course.
Michael said he wasn't planning on seeing Deadpool, so no worries.
Okay. Well, the post-credit scenes is very funny. Is that you end up seeing Deadpool go back, and they inserted him into the X-Men Wolverine Origins when he also played the original
another
interpretation of Deadpool, and shot him. Said, "There, I saved you. You thank me later," something like that. And he went and saw Ryan Reynolds, the real Ryan Reynolds. He's reading the script for Green Lantern, and shoots him and said, "There, Canada, I just saved you." Because that movie was horrible.
Million Ashley says, "Hey, everyone."
Oh, hi. Hello. Nice to have you here. We're talking Star Wars. We've passed all the major spoilers, so...
Yeah. But I definitely enjoyed it.
Yes. Definitely enjoyed it. I mean, it is... I think what you expect from a Star Wars movie is that when you sit in your seat and get comfortable, you just want to have a fun, escapist experience for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And this was 2 hours and 15 minutes, but it didn't feel like it dragged at any point. It just felt like it moved at a good, brisk pace. And
there were no new cute animals.
No, not at all. That's a good point. Not at all. Yeah. I mean, the Porgs, they had to coyly work that in because of all the puffins on that island they were filming on the Irish coast. That was a cute way to get out of an editing problem.
Yeah.
I will give everyone that in that.
I'm glad there was nothing really cutesy in this one.
Yes, true. Unless you count other Wookiees.
Well.
But one complaint I have with science fiction films is that they devolve into technobabble. And Star Trek is guilty of this more often than not. And
Chris says we should do a live stream about our vinyl collection and favorite soundtracks.
That's a good idea. We'll note that for the future. As a matter of fact, speaking of Ben-Hur, we haven't listened to this album yet, but here's a soundtrack from Ben-Hur. I believe is this in mono or stereo? S1E1.
No, that's stereo then.
Is it stereo? Yes, it is. It says stereo right up there. And of course, this is one of our favorites as well. The album of the soundtrack of the trailer of the film Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Oddly enough, I was responding to someone earlier today on Facebook. They had a bunch of plants in their car and said, "Does anyone want a shrubbery?" Of course, I stuck in a Giphy response of "Nay, nay, nay," because they were directly referencing that. No, not new. Nee. No, you've got to react. Nee. Stop saying that. We are no longer the knights who say nee. We are the knights who say eki, 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 zang, hoop, hoop, bang.
Nee. Somebody says knee in the background.
An unnecessary change. Oh.
Millie and Ashley says they missed most of our live, but want to know if we enjoyed Star Wars.
We enjoyed it very, very much. Well, of course, if you missed the live stream, never fear. It will be archived here on the channel, and you can go back and watch
as
it.
As soon as it's over, it'll
Well, it'll take a few minutes to process,
Oh,
but
yeah,
then it will be up. Because YouTube has to do its work in the back end.
But you'll be able to watch it.
You'll be able to watch it. It will be saved for all posterity. I don't know if this chat will be saved.
It does.
No, the other one was not saved.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it gets rid of it after a while because YouTube doesn't think you want it.
I thought I kept it.
YouTube doesn't think you want anything. YouTube does what YouTube does.
I've seen it preserved on other videos. I don't know.
Let's make it hard for you to get monetized. Yeah, we're never going to be monetized. Mm-hmm. No, we don't want to be monetized. We're not here to make money. We do this because we have fun doing this, you know?
Dean Michael says that knee noise sounds like my husband when I poke him and he tries to sound like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
See?
Millie actually says, okay, cool, we will watch the reply.
Very good.
I think they meant replay, but...
Yeah. Spelling doesn't count here. Just like on Match Game. Spelling doesn't count as long as we get the idea.
Yeah. Okay, well, do you have anything else to say?
No, I think that'll about do it, you know. We had a great time seeing this movie, and we highly recommend you go seeing it. We'll do a live stream sometime again here real soon. Just it's just going to be just a general hangout, you know. This
was fun.
This was fun. We enjoyed chatting here with all you guys, and this is a great platform just to come and hang out, you know.
Saul wants to know what the next movie we're going to see. He's excited for Hereditary, Ocean's 8, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I think I would like to see Ant-Man and the Wasp. There was a trailer for that in our showing of Solo.
Yeah.
And I think we need to go back and watch the first Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, we haven't seen most of the MCU. So.
Yes, of course. Remind me something I don't know. Other than the two Guardians of the Galaxy movies and Infinity War, that's the extent of the Marvel Universe that I've seen, and a few episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's only on because I work in Master Control at an ABC station, and that's, of course, on Friday night, or at least it was this last season. So it's kind of just on in the background there. But I don't know anything detailed about that.
Yeah. Michael says he enjoyed the chat. Or Million Ashley says it's a great attitude, but they aren't monetized either. And Chris says have a great evening.
All right, we're going to go relax and get ready for our New York trip coming up next week.
Yep. There'll be lots of videos from that.
Yeah, there'll be lots of posts on social media of us out and about. And there'll be lots of vlogs to come after that. I don't know how many there's going to be. You never know how it's all going to turn out. And there's lots of exciting stuff coming up all summer long. You know, we got lots of stuff planned, and hopefully the later part of this year, without going into any detail, we have lots of stuff we might be doing. You know, I don't think we want to reveal anything yet. No. But stay tuned with us, and we love you all, and thank you for being with us.
Yep.
All right. Bye now. We're going to go.
Bye.
Bye.